Today I'm going to talk about audit trail related reporting requirement in SAP environment. Uh, in the audit field, we have seen a recent announcement by the government of India. They brought a new guidelines under Rule 11G of the company's Audit and Auditors Rule 2014. So what exactly this rule talks about? It says whether the company in respect of financial years commencing on or after the 1st April 2022, if it has used such accounting software for maintaining its books of account, which has a feature of recording audit trail facility, and the same has been operated throughout the year for all transactions recorded in the software, and the audit trail feature has not been tampered with, and the audit trail has been preserved by the company as per the statutory requirements for record retention. So first, government has inserted this new rule 11G related to company maintaining the audit trail in their system, and then it also made changes to the rule 3.1, which ask auditor to report. So what rule 3.1 of companies accounts rule 2014 says, provided that for the financial year commencing on or after the first day of April 23, every company which uses accounting software for maintaining its books of accounts shall use only such accounting software which has a feature of recording audit trail of every transaction, creating an edit log of each change made in the books of account along with the date when such changes were made. So basically with these two provisions, Government of India has made it mandatory for the all the companies and registered under the Indian Companies Act to have the audit trail enablement in their system. So let's understand what is an audit trail. So an audit trail is like a step-by-step record by which accounting or other financial data can be traced to their source. So if you have posted one transaction, for example, financial transaction, invoice processing, so audit trail will should be able to tell you like, okay, who has from where this invoice has originated. Is it coming again through a purchase order, or is it coming through direct without purchase order related thing? So basically through the audit trail you are able to generate the source of the transactions. You can also say that, okay, audit trail is a system that traces the detailed transactions relating to any item in an accounting period, or a record of the changes that have been made to a database or file. So audit trail is basically based on the concept of 3W approach: when, who and what. So when the changes were made, so that like date and time, who made those changes, user ID, and what data was changed. So auditor would be expected to check whether the audit trail is enabled for such transactions which resulted in changes to the books of account, and then report on those audit trail related changes. So for an auditor, the critical questions come on audit trail, like how to check that the audit trail related to financial entries is active in a system or not. How to check such audit trail feature has not been deactivated. So okay, so you first have to see, okay, it's active, then also whether it has been deactivated or not. Then how do we generate the different types of reports? So what reports to obtain from your client system so that you can establish that audit trail was active. So friends, this is what I just wanted to set the context on what exactly is the audit trail, and how what types of questions an auditor will be having. So now I'll take you to the SAP world. So as you can see here, I'm going to take you through all the different aspects of audit trail reporting in SAP. So I have divided this content into following sections. So audit trail activation, how at what different levels it is handled, how to review the changes done in the audit trail with respect to all these three levels, what are the different reports available so that you can evaluate the audit trail. Then some other aspects of audit trail, if we don't control or don't take action on them, then audit trail will become ineffective. So first and foremost, is in SAP audit trail activation is handled at the three levels. First level is at the client level. So you have to activate the parameter rec/client. So if you don't do this activation, then all other things go for a toss. So activation of parameter rec/client is most critical to ensure audit trail in SAP is activated. This activation ensures any changes in the customizing or transactional or master data table will be recorded. So basically, if you don't activate this one and then you do some other activation related to audit trail, like I will be taking you through the two other levels, they will not be effective. So then now let's see how to okay, this is the first level. Then second level is activating the audit trail at the SAP table level. So there is a field called log data changes. So you will activate for each table this field. And the third area where you do the audit trail activation is at the SAP field level. So I'll take you to all these things one by one. So first of all, how do we review that, okay, this profile parameter rec/client is activated or not? So you have to go to this display profile parameter transaction, and you can see, okay, what values are available for this. If the value you are having off, then it means logging is not active. So you must ask your client to activate it. If the value you see all, it means it's active for all the clients within that environment. And the third option could be the client may be having your audit client may be having 5 SAP clients, and they may have activated only 1 or 2 clients. So you can see client number also instead of all. So either client number or your all values should be here. So this is the first step to ensure that audit trail is activated at the client level. And as you can see the wording, activate or deactivate table auditing. Now the second part is the change log activation at the table level. So basically, after you have activated at the client level, next step you go to see whether the specific table has got audit trail or log enablement or not. So go to SE11 and enter any table name. For example, I have put T030 here. And then from within the table, you see this technical settings field. So you click on this technical settings and it will display you this screen. So here you can see log data changes. So this checkbox should be ticked. This field should be ticked. Then only the table will be enabled for any changes to be logged. So once you do this checking, then this field is enabled for change logging. Hence, any modification with respect to data in this table will be captured for your audit trail. Now let's check another table. So first one, T030 is a customizing table. So you may be knowing, so all the automatic transaction postings, when you post a goods receipt, system derive which GL account to post. So that configuration happens that configuration gets saved in this table. Now let's check another table, BKPF. BKPF, you may be knowing that it's a accounting document header table. So this table is the main primary table in SAP which stores all types of accounting documents. So and they are mainly at the header level. So whether it is coming from your sales, purchase, within the finance, asset accounting, all sub modules and GL, everything will flow to BKPF. So if we go to this place, log data changes, you can see this field is not checked here. The reason for this is SAP advises you that since it's a transactional table, so it's not advised to select log data changes at the table level, because any transaction getting posted in BKPF then will be logged as a change log. However, that is not needed because this table may have millions of transactions and it will impact your system performance. So all the transactional data related table, you should not do the activation. So the activation should be only for the customization and master data table. Master data like LFA1, KNA1, BNK, bank master data, vendor master data, supplier master data. Those things you should activate, or you should check that log data changes are enabled. So then how do we ensure that the data getting posted in BKPF is having the log data logging enabled or not? So what SAP says that you can use the field level activation. So instead of doing the activation at the table level, next level is the change log activation at field level. So in this case, the third level where change log activation is to be done is at a field level in an SAP table. So let's again check the table BKPF and we select one of the field, BLART for example, which is a document type field. If you go to this field, double click on this field. Once you double click, this new screen comes up, and here you go to the further characteristics tab. So when you see here, there is one change document field. So this change document field should be enabled. So any changes happening in the field BLART, system will save that. So what you need to do, you need to test check that some of the critical field like fiscal year, document number, posting date, cost center, reference field, are they enabled for change log? And then you have to go to this place and check, yes, it is enabled, and then you can take a screen print of all these test what you are doing. That will give you satisfaction, yes, for the critical transactional data change log is enabled at the field level. So this is the first part. So now you have understood like where all these change logs are enabled. First at the client level, second at the table level, and third at the field level. Next part is like how do you check that that changes have been activated and not deactivated, or when these changes have happened. So first thing is, let's check about this parameter value REC/client, when exactly they were activated. So if I go here, like when you can use transaction TU02 and come to, it will take you to this screen, parameter changes in your SAP system, and it will display you if you are having one client or more than one client, so it will display you all the details. So just select one of the client and you can go to any of these options. So if you click on select period, then you will be asked to enter a period for which you want to evaluate whether during your audit period any changes made in this parameter or not. or you can click on history of files, so it will display you all the transactions which has happened in the SAP system, and you can look for your particular parameter value REC's client and see when the changes has happened. So let's check for my case. I select one period, and then I come here and I enter, okay, the date I select, for example 1st January 2023. When I come here, I don't see my REC slash profile is available here. So it means it has not got REC slash client is available here, as we can see. It means from 1st January 23, no changes happened in this parameter. Now let's try with removing the date, and then we see. So when I remove the date, so I see like, okay, changes has happened on 21st of November 2020. After that there is no change. So this is again, you can extract the screen for your audit reporting purpose, audit documentation, that okay, you have checked and this is the date when the REC slash client was activated for audit log in the client system. So that was related to activation of change log at the client. Now let's check how do we review the changes done in the table, and when the changes with respect to logging of activating the audit trail was done, or how do we check that part. So there is another SAP table DD09L. So this table stores any changes done with respect to a table relating to table logging enablement or removal. So if you go to this table and you enter any table name, you can check, okay, when the data was at this table was activated for change log, or and so on. So we will just check one example. So here you see table BNK. Let me just increase the font size. You can see table BNK, and you see there is, this field is blank, so it means log data changes have not been enabled for this table in this system. So when I go to table DD09L, let's see what it shows. You can see it shows only one line, and this is the log field. Here it shows empty value, which means it is not activated for log change. Now what I do, I just modify the log data changes. So I will check that this value and save it. This table I'll save. So when I go to again DD09L, you can see it shows me one more line with under log, it shows cross, it means it is active, and it was activated on 6th of January 2024. And under author you will see the user ID who has activated this. So again, this also you can extract, download this report for your reporting purpose. So you can all the tables which you are analyzing, and if some tables you think log data changes should be enabled, then you should ask your client to activate it, and once it is activated you can come to this table and then download the report for those tables where the values were modified as per your recommendation. So this is all related to viewing where the how to check, like the audit log was enabled and when it was enabled. Now let's talk about SAP report, how to review the audit trail related changes made in objects or transactions. So we can see audit trail reports in multiple ways. There are SAP transaction evaluation of audit trails, or SAP reports, this one S_ALR 87101238. So when we go down, so let's check first evaluation of audit trails. So this transaction, when you come here, you can enter let's see first the what are the value you have here. So as you can see, evaluation of audit trails, the transaction name itself is evaluation of audit trails, and here you can give the dates for which period you want to do the evaluation of audit trail, and the transaction code in which you want to generate the report. The dates are very important here. These dates are not the dates related to original posting of the document. These dates here represent changes made to those posted documents. So if I say, like, on 31st of January you have posted one document, and 1st of February you made some changes. So when you enter 31st January to 1st February, so all changes which have been made on 1st February only will be displayed. The original posted document will not show here. So what you can do, you can give the transaction code for which you want to generate the report and give your date range. You can give your audit period date range and then execute it. When you execute, it will display you the document which has got changed. So for example, here you can see one field value JDUONR assignment number field was updated with a new value, test audit trail. This date AEDAT was updated with which date this change was done. So whenever any change will be made, so this field will automatically come. And the second part is, it will show you what was the old value and what is the new value. So earlier in this assignment number field there was no value available. So now you can see new value came up. And again you can export this report. There is this export option, so you can do that. Let's see some other examples. I am going to VF02. We can see here so many records have been generated, and it will give you what are the different values have been changed. And you can add or remove lot of fields from here, whatever is not required. And you can export also in Excel. Data from these reports you can export into Excel. Suppose you don't remember the transaction code for which you want to generate the report. So what you can do, you can go through the SAP menu which is displayed on the left side of the initial screen within this transaction, and then you select the specific T code on which you need the evaluation. So as you can see here, just click expanding and then you will get VF02. So here, like as you can see, logistics, billing, and then within the billing document change VF02. So double click on this one, it will come here, and then you execute. So this is one way of generating the report related to your audit trail, and it will show all the changes made in the accounting document and so on. Another way to generate a report related to changes is this one, S_ALR 87101238, display change documents. However, here you need to use the object class. So object class, from the drop down you will be able to see what are the different object class available. So for example, BANF. So BANF means change documents for purchase requisitions. So once you enter this BANF, then again you enter the dates for which you want to do the evaluation, and then execute it. So if I show you, like, okay, just see, I have attached also the screen how do you do the search for the object class. So you see BANF. BANF means change documents for purchase requisition, and when you execute you will get this type of report. So here it will show you what are the changes has been done, old value, new value. Again here you will see what type of changes happened, which field, and who has done the changes, when these changes were done. So date, name of the person who did the change, which document number was changed, what value was changed, all these things. There is a table, SAP table TCD-OBT. This table contains the value of all the object classes, and you can download this table to review the object classes which is relevant for your audit. I'll just take you through quickly. So for example, I had selected some of the tables which is critical, like BANF BSOP, BANK is bank master data, BELEGR document related, COND underscore A conditions related object class, and so on, like EINK BELEG, this is purchasing document related. Then entry sheet is service entry sheet related, so and so on. So this is the whole list, like you can see 1320 object classes, and all modules related object classes are available here. So if you go to this table TCD-OBT, you will get all the details, and then you can filter or you can create your own SOP, like okay, these object classes we should review when we go to the client place, and so on. So this is all related to audit trail activation, audit trail review, whether it is active or when it was activated, finally getting into the report and generating the report for your documentation, audit documentation. Now all these things will go for a toss if some critical access in SAP has not been checked. So there is a field which is very critical in SAP, and it is called debug option, right? So you might have heard technical person who is a ABAPer, they ask for debug access in production system to do some verification or to do some some errors have happened, so they want to debug the error and see where exactly the problem is coming. However, debug can be given, the access to debug can be given in a change mode or display mode. So what SAP says that debug you should never ever give in the change mode. If you give the debug access to someone in production system, it is having the capability to delete any values from the system, and it will not be recorded. So it bypasses all SAP built-in controls. So you have activated those audit trail and everything, but it will not those audit trail also will not be able to record any changes done using this debug access. So you should always avoid giving debug access to any of the users in SAP production environment. And if someone wants also, then you give them display access. So some IT users still may want, right, that they want to do some analysis of errors happening. So give them 03 only, not 02. So in order to check, like, if someone is having this 02 access for, okay, so the value object which is giving the people access to debug is s underscore develop. So this object can be assigned in a role and will be given to people who want that. So what you have to do, you use this transaction s underscore ALR underscore 87101206, and then you check authorization object s underscore develop and give the value 0102 and execute. So it will display the list of people who are having this object value, and if you want to further check like which roles are having these values, so you select one of the user and then double click on this in accordance with selection. So it will display the list of all the roles which are having this value, and then you ask your client to remove the s underscore develop with value 01 or 02. So this is a one very critical thing to manage within the SAP client environment, within the SAP production environment, and you should ask your client to be very careful not to give this object with 01 or 02. Next aspect is making your client SAP system in production as a productive. So company codes which is getting used in SAP production system, they need to be converted to, they need to be checked with this productive option. So productive indicator of company code. If this check is not enabled, then there is a risk that there are some programs in SAP which allows you to delete lots of data. Basically, SAP gives this facility for people to do the deletion of tables, master data, transactional data in the test environment. So, however, if you don't check this field as a productive for your company code, then production data also is considered as a test environment, and there also you will be able to delete that. So it is imperative that you ask your client to make the company code in production as productive. So some of the dangerous programs what I am telling you, like these are the ones. So if you have not flagged it, then using these program you can delete the transaction data. So program is RKSCUS01, delete transaction data. So you can delete at the controlling area level for all the company codes. Then another program is SAP PF020. It will reset all the transaction data. Then another is deleting master data, SAP F019. So here you can see delete customers, delete vendors, delete GL accounts. So all these things you can delete. Then another one is resetting of your banking data. Program name is SAP F023. So again, what you need to do is discuss with the client whether they have made their company code in production as productive or not. If not, then persuade them they should do it. And once it is done, then this risk goes away. Similarly, you ask them to remove any debug related access which they have given to their any of the employee by checking this s_develop object. So friend, that's all for today. Please do share your feedback on this is my number, email ID. Any further help is needed or anything you want to discuss, you can connect with me on these two, either mobile number or on my email. Thank you so much.